Hello and welcome back to the channel. So I thought I'd take the chance today just to do a quick video to introduce myself. I know the last video was more of a walk around with me, so yeah, I wanted to let you know who I am, where we're up to, what's to come for the channel, and go from there really. Let's get into it. So who am I? Well, first and foremost, I'm a wildlife enthusiast. I wouldn't say that I'm a particularly great photographer or anything like that. I do like getting footage of the animals that I do see though, and I've always been interested in wildlife. So I've created this channel really just to bring you along for the ride because I've seen a lot, and I plan on doing more. I plan on seeing more every single day. At the minute, I'm currently up to 284 species, with the majority of them all being UK based as well. And I'll take you through some of those as well. But as it stands, my repertoire, my Pokedex, if you will, is at 284. So the way that I class this, the way that I note these for myself, for my kind of gallery really, is I have to have seen the bird, the mammal, the reptile, whatever it might be. I have to have seen that animal. Secondly, I have to have been the one to take the photo of that animal.
Such as this cormorant, this blue tit, and this grey heron.
Now, there are some other areas that are included in that. For example, if I've got footage of an animal, but I've not physically seen that with my eyes, or if I'm in the picture with the animal, but again, I didn't take that picture. It proves that I've seen it, but I didn't take the picture, so it doesn't count. This T-Rex, for example, that crashed my wedding, I wouldn't count this for two different reasons. Number one, I didn't take the picture. Number two, it's captive. So it wouldn't count for my list anyway, because someone outright owns that T-Rex and they just lent it us for the day. So what I'll do, I'll run through what I have seen, what I've been most impressed by, that kind of thing. Some of them be dead easy. Mammals, for example, I've not seen that many, so I can run through all of them. Reptiles, I've seen probably about 5 or 6, so I can run through all of them. Then it gets to birds, and that's where you're in your hundreds. So I'll probably just throw in a few highlights of those, but stick along for the ride. We'll start with mammals anyway. I'll start with the ones that I haven't actually got photos of, just to show you kind of what's on my target list to get, because I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't get them in the first place. Such as the shrew. So I have seen a common shrew before. I saw it scurry out, and basically it was in front of my wife's horse, and I had to choose to either let the shrew get crushed or get a photo of the shrew before it got crushed. Luckily for the shrew, I chose the the earlier one, the earlier option there. So the shrew didn't get crushed, got away, but I didn't get a picture. You could call it a lucky horse shrew. But yeah, so I'll carry on to the mammals that first of all I have seen that I haven't managed to get any photos of.
Starting with a stoat that ran across the road that looked a little bit like this. Don't mind the gifs, I don't have footage of them yet. And then I also saw another that looked like this, at the top of the cairngorms in some snow. Now the next on the list is my footage, but I got this using a trail camera. And whilst I have seen badgers run about in the past, I haven't actually managed to get any footage of them there and then. So whilst I've got footage from my trail camera, I unfortunately can't count this to my total of mammals that I've seen and photographed or videoed. Something else that I've seen on my wildlife camera are these foxes, which is really cool to watch, as I got them fighting quite a lot of the time, feeding, I got the cubs, it was awesome. But luckily for me, I've not only seen these on the trail camera, I've actually managed to see them in real life too quite a few times. As you can see here, this one approached without even realising it was there. It's not the first or last time that this happened. And using a pop-up wildlife hide, I set this up in a field where I knew the foxes had been and waited to get some pictures of them. Now we'll move on to with one of my rarer mammal interactions, which is this mole. Usually they're underground, you can never really see them, so to have one just walking about in the day like this was really, really cool. I'll be surprised if I ever see another walking around, but what I did get was amazing. I'm pretty sure it had no idea that it was there, as most of you will know that moles are blind. So yeah, it was a cool one to see, and hopefully I will see another, but I guess we'll see in time. Now the next few are far more common to see, such as this house mouse, wood mouse, brown rat, this bank vole, which was pretty cool, and then we found these polecats, which had been left by their mother. We don't know why, but we did set up a trail camera to see if the mum came back, and it didn't, so we did end up having to get these rescued, but they all survived and did really, really well. I've seen mink along the local rivers a couple of times, but only got the one photo. Hedgehogs, as you can imagine, pretty standard to see, though we are seeing less and less. Both grey squirrel, and what was really, really cool was these red squirrels in Anglesey. I'm really, really proud of this next shot. Oh yeah. Then at 12 we've got the European rabbit, and 13 the European hare.
Hey buddy, this is the closest I've ever been to a deer. No, this is the closest I've ever been. Right.
So yeah, the first deer that we've got on the list is the fallow deer. Really, really cool deer. It's really nice to see. I love the speckles on them. Absolutely top. And the next is the red deer. Really cool watching these during the rutting season. I'll probably make a video on that towards the end of the year. Really, really good to get some actual rutting action. And then finally the roe deer is the last of the deers that I've seen. Now the next thing we've got is a pipistrelle bat, and it's the only bat that I've seen. We've got an otter. Again, I've only seen these once in the wild, and they were quite far out, so I'd love to get them again. We've got grey seal. I haven't seen harbour seal. Speaking of harbour, we've got harbour porpoise, and then finally the minke whale.
Now, the next section is all about reptiles and amphibians. So again, I've not seen that many of those at all. I'll go through the numbers with you, but it's only 2 in the UK. And I want to improve that. I want to do a few more things, such as I want to go on a herping trip, which is, if you don't know, looking for the UK. It's not always UK, but I want to specifically look for UK reptiles and snakes, lizards, and even the amphibians as well. I'd like to be able to tick all of them off. That would be quite a cool achievement. I know smooth snake, for example, is going to be quite a difficult one, but there's lots there that I want to be able to do. Again, aside from your T-Rex, which, as I said, is captive, so it doesn't count. It's also non-natives, but I'll throw in some of the non-native ones as well, just so you can see what I've seen.
Kicking off with the common toad and the common frog. Then I've got these 2 invasive species, the yellow-bellied slider and a Wichita map turtle, which are really cool to see. Now, the next and final ones that I did see haven't been in the UK, so you'll have to bear with me if I get the names wrong. But I think we've got a Columbrex wall lizard, a black spiny-tailed iguana, a Tenerife lizard or a Galoti, and an Algerian Samadronus.
Wow, fluent in 4 different languages. Moving on. Yeah, I'm not going to bore you with all of the birds I've seen. I've actually seen 249 species of birds in the UK. So I'm not going to bore you with those. I will show, a couple of the highlights in a minute just for you to see, and maybe even throw in a couple of the common ones as well.
So I'm not going to bore you by listing all of the common ones I've seen. As I say, that could take ages and ages and ages, and it could take multiple videos to do it. You won't be here for 10 minutes watching this video, you'd be here for a couple of hours. So I'll throw in a few that I have seen, your standards, your robins, your finches, your tits, your starlings, anything along those lines really. Just look how excited I was to feed this starling though. But yeah, with the exception of around maybe 5 or 6, I think pretty much all of my bird species have been in the UK as well. Your greenfinch, nuthatch, gannets for example, anything really that I think I've seen, from pretty cool, such as this, to the chuff, to common kingfishers, to slightly rarer, you're looking at your waxwings, dippers, smew, golden pheasant, that was a really cool one. You know, glossy ibis, those kind of birds that are just really, really unique to see in the UK, but really, really cool that when you do see them. And then you've got your more difficult to find, so your hoopoe, your bittern, your nightjar, which I know can be improved, your lesser spotted woodpecker, I mean, I'm happy with that regardless, wryneck, and then to the things that just shouldn't be here, like your belted kingfisher down in Brockholes, that was awesome, yellow-rumped warbler. I've seen all of our resident owl species, not including the snowy owl and the eagle owl, for example, but as you can see in these clips, absolutely amazing to get this close to them. I'll share a few pictures of each one as well. So there you're looking at your long-eared owl, let's see, barn owl, tawny owl with chicks, little owl, really, really cool to see, and then can definitely be improved, but it's my short-eared owl there. Now there's a bunch of other weird birds that I've seen as well, which I'll be able to show you at the end of this video, but I've got my red-tailed shrike, great grey shrike, red-backed shrike, woodchat shrike, and then some just downright really cool ones like the black-browed albatross, black swan, things like that. Now you can see the rest of these birds that I've seen. I've listed every single one on my Instagram, so check that out. I'll put the link in the description.
Yeah, so hopefully from that, guys, you can see that, you know, kind of wildlife is my greatest hobby. It's something that you know, I've always been interested in, and the kind of keenness around it, the desire to go out and get these pictures, these videos, that kind of thing, is something that's just grown and grown really since lockdown in 2021. When I decided that, you know, that's something that I want to focus on and put a lot of my time and energy into, and I'm glad I did. You know, I've come quite a long way with it, but there's still so much more that I want to see. There's so many more birds that I've not seen yet, such as, you know, your ptarmigan, your capercaillie, should I say, anything along those lines. I really, really want to see, and I've got plans for them. I've got stuff that I want to do for them. Great Bustard is another one. But again, as I said before, I've also got the kind of herping trips that I'm planning to try and get some of the UK reptiles. I've got a trip to London soon, which is going to be pretty special. I've got a few things lined up there that I want to focus on. And realistically, the aim here is to bring you guys along for those journeys, because I feel like I've had a lot of experiences in this time, in the time that I've been doing it, but I've not really shown them anywhere. Now I've got pictures of a lot of things, but what I've only recently started doing is getting actual footage of them, and I want to include that for you. I want to put it into a video like this, hopefully bring you along for the ride, just so that you can see where I'm up to. I'll keep a count of every new animal that I do find. I'll put that on screen every time. So yeah, hopefully it's a journey we can do together, and I look forward to bringing you along. Thanks for watching. I've been DB Wildlife, or David Brown. As I say, I'll put a link to my Instagram in the description. You can find it on screen now as well. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this, if you're interested, subscribe, stick around for more, and check out my previous video. But yeah, look forward to doing a bit more with you guys. Cheers.